Welcome to another edition of Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share this video all over the entire internet, where it's always prolific, consistent, and of course dedicated. Major update as concerns the current direction of the WWE and the decisions that are being made currently. Now, the following can be seen on the Wrestling Observer newsletter, as seen on WrestlingInc.com. The link, the source, the proof is in the description of this video, and I'm here to just give my view of it. Right now, when it comes to power and making decisions within WWE, there are a lot of people in this process, but the only real key decision makers are Vince McMahon and Triple H. So what I get out of that right off the top of this, and there's a lot more to this than what I'm just talking about, but ultimately, you know, there's a lot of people throwing their opinions out there, a lot of people throwing their 2 cents, but ultimately, it comes down to what Vince McMahon and Triple H want. But you got to ask yourself, ultimately, is it what Vince McMahon and Triple H wants is best for business? Is that the right route to go? Or does creative have better ideas and better scenarios only for Vince McMahon and Triple H to overrule those ideas and storylines and whatever decisions that are being made behind the scenes? Now, regarding everything changing on Mondays, Raw is WWE's biggest priority as of late, in which it should be. It's their flagship show. It's the show that gets the most money, the most ratings, the most revenue. They don't even start talking about what they are going to do on SmackDown until Monday afternoon, because we all know SmackDown is taped on Tuesdays. Then around 6 p.m., Vince will want the writing team, the creative team, to give him a SmackDown main event so it can be promoted on Raw, which that is a smart idea, because if you want people to watch SmackDown, which is, you know, low grade to Monday Night Raw, you want to promote it, you want to get it out there, and that's actually, a good phase of action to do, no doubt about it, so you can't blame Vince McMahon for wanting to do that. And then the writers start scrambling for a match. Now, here's the thing. The creative team obviously isn't what it used to be, okay? I've done rants on the creative team in the past. The creative team back in the Attitude Era and before that used to consist of a few people. Now you got a lot more people on the creative team from all different walks of life. Some that are not even wrestling fans. They are just, they're coming from Hollywood. They're coming from, all different walks of life. And some of these people don't even have a grasp. They don't understand the wrestling business. They don't understand what ticks and what clicks with an audience, and they're so out of touch and out of tune with the product and the way a wrestling company should be run. But that's just my opinion, and that's where Vince McMahon and Triple H have to step in and enforce what is going down, because they know what's going on. Even though I will say, on times, Vince McMahon sometimes, as smart as he is, and he's very business savvy, Vince McMahon didn't get where he's at because he's a dummy. McMahon knows what he's doing. He's on top of his things. He's one of the hardest workers, but I don't agree with all the decisions that he makes, and which is pretty frequently, as according to this report. And this is why SmackDown and main event matches on Raw frequently change. That's the thing. There is no consistency in the creative team. There's always changes. There's always last-minute differences being, last-minute matches or storylines, a rewrite before Raw starts. I mean, this almost seems like circa WCW when, they were in a big blunder and they didn't know what direction they were going in. They didn't know what storyline they were going to finish. They would start something and not even end up finishing it. They would get halfway and it's not good. Now, the reason that this week's CM Punk versus a member of the Shield match was promoted is because as of around the 10 o'clock p.m. on Monday night, Vince still hadn't made up his mind which of the 3 Shield members would best fit as Punk's opponent. Well, I mean, that's really not a big, you don't have to really brainstorm. You don't have to think about that too much. Any member of the Shield versus CM Punk would be good, but what's best for business? Probably Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, as the WWE wants to build Roman Reigns to be that next big top superstar. But a great match would also be Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. But CM Punk is going to be in a handicap match against all 3 members of the Shield at tables, ladders, and chairs, which, quite frankly, doesn't make any sense to me, as this is a tables, ladders, and chairs pay-per-view, not a handicap warfare pay-per-view. Regarding Daniel Bryan's recent push, it's not even that creative didn't want him to get revenge, a WWE title win, or even some kind of symbolic win. It's that nobody else really has the kind of influence except for Vince and Triple H. And going back to earlier rumors, Vince and Triple H were actually questioning the decision and choice to push Daniel Bryan back from main event of being, a world champion challenger to mid-card status. So as you can see, there's a lot of differences. There's a lot of questioning. There's a lot of bad choices that are being made, not only on the creative standpoint, But Vince McMahon and Triple H need to just get on top of their game. I've heard reports of the creative team being burnt out. There's just a lot of different things that the WWE needs to get straight. And right now, I think, we're just in a hell of a rebuilding stage for the WWE. So hopefully they can get things back on track. Stay in focus, not have WCW-like writing, and hopefully the WWE can, get on the same page as the creative team, and everything will all work out ultimately in the end, especially with WrestleMania coming up. Like I said, there needs to be a strategy. There needs to be development. They need to be more organized, in my opinion. Subscribe with your opinions and your topics and your comments and questions or whatever you have for me. Later.